Morning guys, welcome to the 31st of March. It's Tuesday, about 20 past 8 I think it is. So this is first thing in the morning for you. It's a cool morning again today. I seem to have this bit of cold coming down from the Arctic Circle type job. It's definitely dropped the temperature a little bit, so I'm back in my fleece. Just take the nip off. So at the moment, for those who don't know, we are in, well, what we call the Far Rings field. This is one of our hay fields, and you can probably tell it's a bit dirty. I've got some, well, power behind me, I'll show you in a minute. So this was yesterday afternoon, my little job. So yeah, this gets turned into a hay field this summer. We're about 4 acres I think it is, 4 maybe 5 acres here. It's one of our smaller paddocks, let's call it, of hay, but it doesn't do too bad. If you've gone back in the previous videos, you'll have seen that all this would be underwater anyway. This is our flood area, i.e. the Ings. So we've hopefully had a good douse of, well, river sludge. All the silt and sludge and whatever else from the river comes down. Hopefully it's been deposited down here. Usually we have, we'll go over there, we've got the girls' winter field, so the mare's winter field. That was getting taken for hay, but we have one too many, well, horses in there now. So we're a bit lacking on space with them. Obviously we've split the boys and the girls off. To be fair, if we had just boys or just girls, it'd make life a lot easier, but such is life. So that's about, I think that's 11 acres is that field. It usually goes for hay, but it won't be this year. And then the boys' winter field, which is just over the side there, behind the hedge that I rolled the other day, that's I think 18 acres. And that'll be coming for hay, but there's not usually very much off that. So what are we doing down here? Well, I might as well just show you this way now. Hang on, hold still. Right, so that pile of rubbish, garbage, trash, crap, whatever else you want, that's from the fields up the lane that we did this summer, the hay from the fields. If you go back to last July, I think it was, August, you'll see me with the 698 picking up bales with the MB track, running bales back down here that we lost. Basically we mowed the field, had it just about ready to bale, and then our baler broke. Well, it didn't break, we broke a spring. A £2 spring in the baler, which then meant we lost a hell of a lot of grass. So that's half of that's from up the lane that we did, and the other half is from that 16 acre field over there, the boys' winter field. So what I did was brought them down here, and I cut all the strings off it and piled it up. So I hate having it there. It's in the worst place possible. It looks awful, especially on the public path that's down here. Plus this field could do with a bit of a feed anyway, so what I've been doing is throwing it out. Now it's not particularly well rotted, but if I don't quite get big lumps in it, it shouldn't be too bad. There was some heat in the pile. Let's see, it just hasn't really rotted very much, but if I can get it on thin enough like this, hopefully the grass will come through underneath and well, grow through it and it'll rot down as it touches the soil surface. It's not ideal, but it's the only thing I've got for this field as well. It's the only feed I've got for this field for this year. We tend to not put chemical fertiliser on. One, because we try and keep everything as, well, green as possible. He says with 2 tractors running over his shoulder. But yeah, we try not to put man-made products in. and to be honest, some of the fields we've got, because the horses are on it, and they do get poached to hell through the winter time and through the summertime, to be fair. It's got to the stage where putting chemical on, we'd have to put tons of it on to try and get it to grow. We're lucky down here because I kind of reclaimed this. It was full of regrass and horrible stuff. So the last 5 years, so 6 years, I've been spraying it, mowing it, and it's cleaned up really well. There is some regrass, or sedge grass if you want to call it. I'll show you something just here. There is some down here, but to be honest, our horses kind of like it. It's so a bit more to chew on rather than just a Timothy or a fescue. It's a stronger grass on it, so. But when it's mowed off, what I'll probably do after all this is I'll probably mow it off anyway, just to make it, basically to get rid of any trash that's in the bottom from the river, and then make it a nice succulent leaf by the time we come to mow it for hay. Well, that's the plan anyway. So yeah, New Holland T5 115 and Fleming MS 700. I think this is supposed to be a 7 cube spreader. For anybody who hasn't seen inside it, you've got some outer paddles and then some chains down the centre, another set of outer paddles. These paddles are supposed to be the main throwing device. So when we start the tractor up, runs through from the tractor through the PTO, there's a big chain and a big cog up there, and then that big cog is then connected to this shaft which rotates. So the idea is you pile up, I'll come back a bit, so stack it in centre, and then as this centre bit turns, it actually moves everything around and about and out to the sides and then gets thrown out. So these chains have got paddles on the end, if I can clean them up, like that. So they're just big heavy lumps of metal that basically throw everything out. It is quite a crude way of doing it. It's not particularly great for what I'm doing for it, and unless it's really well rotted, it just tends to throw everything out the middle. So you can stack it however you like, but you'll get down towards the bottom and it'll just launch everything out, and you're trying to do about 20-30 kk across the field bouncing all over the shop. But it does the job. It's better than doing behind. So I'm happy. So I've had that about 7 or 8 years now. She's still in good nick actually. I do try and clean all the muck out of her at the end of the year. It's a bit green, but that's about it, to be fair. So yeah, she's not bad. And then we're back on with Bertha, our 698, and the muck grab that I bought last year. I've got to stop talking to myself, it's a bit odd. Yeah, I've got a fairly good leak on that ram there. She's leaking oil out quite nicely. And to be honest, that size muck grab on that spreader, I'm having a whale of a time trying to work it all out. I'm not used to having a muck grab anyway, and that poor old lass really doesn't have the hydraulic power in her anymore. It's either lifting the loader or shutting the muck grab, and you can't really do a pair of them. But I'm getting there. It's just slow and steady with this. Slow and steady, we'll get there. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to get back into my nice warm cab. Well, one warm cab. Massey doesn't have any heating or cooling or anything particularly. But yeah, I'm going to get back in my cab, get loaded up, and then start chucking some stuff around. So thanks very much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, bye.